Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Behrenfeld. I am a prevention specialist at ADAC, the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Council of Delaware County. And today we're going to be talking about self-care during Zoom meetings because the majority of our time now is spent on Zoom meetings. And I know we're probably feeling overwhelmed or tired or stressed or frustrated with all these Zoom meetings we now have to attend due to COVID. So I came up with this presentation to try and take care of ourselves during the Zoom meeting. So before I go into different strategies on how to take care of yourself during Zoom meetings, I wanted to introduce you to this. The new phenomenon is Zoom fatigue/burnout. So this is actually a new term. It's official, and there is such thing as Zoom fatigue and burnout. And so if you're feeling this way, you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed and anxious before a Zoom call, during a Zoom call, or after, well, this is an actual term that has come to life, and it's called Zoom fatigue and burnout. And we're probably all experiencing this right now. And that's why I definitely want to talk to you about, like, what can we do when we're feeling these negative feelings and feeling kind of Zoom burnout or fatigue, or how can we prevent ourselves from getting Zoom burnout and fatigue? So basically, what is Zoom fatigue or burnout? It is the taxing feeling you get after having one too many video calls. And experts are saying it's because technology is overtaxing on our brain. And our brains have to work harder on video calls than to read people. And that definitely makes total sense because, you know, I'm here talking to you right now, recorded, or even if I was live, I can't read you. I can't communicate with you as well because us as humans, we communicate and read each other by body language and our tone of voice and our facial expression. So it's definitely a lot harder that our brains have to try and figure out, like, okay, do they understand what I'm saying? Do they not? How are they feeling? How are they not feeling? So it's definitely a new term that we're all trying to figure out, and hopefully we don't ever experience Zoom fatigue and burnout. I'm going to go over these signs of if you have Zoom fatigue. And these are the 7 signs that they have figured out if you have Zoom fatigue. And when I read through all of these, I had every single one. So I want you to take a second and read through them and see which one are you definitely feeling. Are you feeling number 1? You leave a call feeling more tired than energized. Are you feeling 2? You don't get the same social high that you feel when being around people in person. That's definitely something I really have been struggling with Zoom because I am a huge extroverted person and I love interacting with people. So that's definitely been a struggle. So go ahead and take a look at these and see if you're experiencing any of these symptoms or signs at all. All right, so if you are feeling all of these, guess what? It's normal. I think everyone is definitely going through the majority of these. And I'm glad I'm here today. And I'm hoping some of these self-care tips that I have researched and found and discovered for myself, I hope they're helpful for you and help you prevent getting Zoom fatigue or help reduce that Zoom fatigueness or burnout. So we're going to go over 8 self-care tips that you can do during Zoom meetings, before Zoom meetings, or even after. So I put them all on one slide just in case you want to take a picture of them to remind you, because, you know, not every tip is going to be helpful for you. So that's why I try to come up with different ways, because every person's different and you have to try and experiment what works best for you. And also you might need a different tip that day based on how you're feeling or what's going on in your day. So I will leave this up here for a couple seconds. And if you would like to take out your phone to take a picture, go ahead. And then we're going to talk about these more in depth and how you can apply them to yourself. All right, so the first tip I'm going to talk to you about is getting yourself mentally ready. And what you want to do before clicking that start button, I want you to settle and ground your attention. And there's a couple ways you can do that. So before you start your day with Zooms or the next Zoom meeting, I want you to sit in your chair and you can either take some mindful breaths. And the picture I have to the right explains what mindful breaths are. And so it's using the breath to focus on the mind. So what you do is you inhale for a count of 5. You hold it for 5. And exhale it for 5. And this really helps you kind of let go of that stress or anxiety, or might need to like refocus your mind to get ready for the day or the next Zoom meeting, or maybe you're doing a presentation. So taking some mindful breaths might be very beneficial for you to get mentally ready. The second tip I have for you is playing some feel good, relaxing music, or I actually did the opposite. So when I did my first presentation for a professional development week, I actually, on the way to on my way to work, I put on some hardcore jamming out music and I got myself pumped up. And that's what worked for me. I'm like, I need to get myself ready. I can do this. And that's how I kind of had to motivate myself. I used to be an athlete and I loved pregame music, and that's what works for me. So maybe relaxing music might be good for you, or maybe you need that, Space Jam or Eye of the Tiger music to say, hey, let's get myself pumped and I'm excited and I'm ready to focus and, do this. And the third way is writing down some positive affirmations. And I actually applied this one as well to myself. I have a big calendar at my desk, and before one of my very first Zoom presentation ever, I was really nervous. So I had my calendar and I would just write, I am brave, I am calm, and I am strong. And I just kind of wrote them down to try to get myself mentally ready to present for the first time live during Zoom, because it was something very different for me. And I just needed those positive affirmations. The second tip is chair yoga. This is really beneficial, and I've had a lot of luck for me personally, and a lot of my coworkers have found this to be successful for them as well. So instead of using your free or break time to check your phone or Facebook before your next Zoom meeting, try stretching out your body to release tension and getting more of a relaxed mood and clearing your mind to refocus. So I'm going to go over some of these poses with you, and bear with me as I, navigate my lovely Zoom camera. But these are a great way to try and release that tension. And, we are sitting probably all day now. We're definitely not getting enough exercise, and sitting just in general will make you tight and not feel comfortable. So the first pose I'm going to show you that you can do, you can even do it during your Zoom meeting. Like, let's say you're just listening to a training, turn that camera off and go ahead and stretch. You can still listen. So the first pose is the upper right hand picture, or left hand picture, my bad. And what you do is, let's see, can you see my chin? There we go. You put your hands either on the back of the chair, you can put them on your desk, whatever you can. And you put your feet a shoulder width apart, and you just kind of fold forward and put your head down. So when you do that stretch, you're probably going to feel a release in up through your lats, your upper back. You might feel it in your hamstring, some in your upper back or even lower back, but it's a great way to just kind of stretch out and release some of that tension. The bottom left-hand picture, I'm not going to show you that one because it's too hard to see me, but basically all you do is put your leg up between or on top of your thigh, right before your kneecap, and you just fold over and you'll probably feel a nice deep hamstring stretch, and maybe a little bit in your lower back. You can even do, sometimes I do some neck rolls, try and get the neck because that's where we hold a lot of our tension, and that's where stress can really build up. So if you're feeling really stressed, you might have a really tense neck. So just kind of doing some neck rolls and maybe some shoulder rolls and just kind of, you know, moving with what feels good. And then just making sure you switch to the other side because you want to keep it even out for your body. And the last pose I'm going to show you is a routine that you can do on Mondays. I thought this was a great picture, or you can do it whenever you would like. And basically, it's called the cow and cat stretch. And the one that my yoga teacher taught me is putting your hands behind your head, and cow is leaning back. So you inhale, and then when you exhale, you pull yourself forward, and that's the cat. So this is one way you can do cow, inhaling and exhaling, cat. So cow, cat. And this helps release some neck tension too, lower back, upper back, all the way down your spine. You might get even a little ab workout. And the other way you can do cow and cat is you can put your hands on your knees. You can arch your back, same thing with your breath. So cow's in, cat's out, and then you just release forward. And the last one is side angle. This one feels really good for me. And you can just, so what this one does is you just kind of like let your arm hang between your legs. If you want to go all the way to the ground because you're that flexible, go for it. I will not be doing that because I am not that flexible right now. I am too stiff. And you just kind of twist and put your hand up and you press your elbow up against your other knee and just kind of twist. And this feels really good. And then you just want to make sure you do the other one and even it out. All right, awesome. So that's chair yoga. Having water and tea. So making sure you're having enough water. So I personally always have my water with me. I make sure there's a water bottle. So if you want to try and stay hydrated, definitely get a water bottle by you because water actually improves memory, cognition, and eases the joints. And I'm just going to pause real quick because my battery is running low. So I will be right back, just getting my cord. Been on too many Zoom meetings today, so I haven't really had been trying to be in a comfortable position during my Zoom meetings because that's what we're here to talk about, and I'm trying to take care of myself. All righty, so back what I was saying, thank you guys so much for your patience, is water. So water improves with the memory, cognition, and it eases the joints. So make sure you have your water bottle. The other thing that you might want to drink to help take care of yourself is tea. And there's all different types of tea that have a lot of benefits to your mind, your mood. So the first one I want to talk to you about is spearmint. And I thought this one was a good one to implement because a lot of people like gum. So I'm like, oh, maybe spearmint. And it doesn't have any caffeine. So spearmint, it actually helps boost new brain cell growth, and it does improve your working memory and does support overall health, healthy cognition function. And the next slide, here are a bunch of different teas that you can use for your mental health or teas that you can use for energy and focus. So I'm going to leave this up here right now. And if you would like to, I highly encourage, take a picture of this, write them down, because these might be really good for your self-care and help you stay focused. Or if you're just feeling kind of anxious and you don't know how to settle down, like lavender is a great way to calm your nerves down, or chamomile is another one. But then we have energy teas where green tea, it helps, you know, process information better. And then we have peppermint tea, which I just talked to you about, which is another great one. So go ahead and take a picture of this if you like and try one, see what works for you. The fourth tip for taking care of yourself during Zoom meetings is having a candle or essential oil diffuser by you. So I'm going to talk about the bottom or the right-hand picture, and I always pronounce this word wrong. So I'm hoping I pronounce this right, but eucalyptus. Anyway, so I have no feedback with that word because I'm recording myself. But I love this candle, and it's hard to see because it's really bright, but it's the same picture. And what these two herbs have, so the eucalyptus, I'm so bad at this, mint and rosemary, they all have different meanings to them. So the rosemary boosts energy because it increases blood flow to your brain. And the eucalyptus energizes and actually improves focus. And I've noticed a huge difference when I light this candle at my house, when I'm working from home. I feel way more focused and energized, and I don't feel anxious or stressed or overwhelmed. So I've had a lot of luck and benefits using this candle. So I really wanted to share it with you. And like I said, I have it right here lit every time I work from home. And then the other tip is essential oil diffuser. And I finally got one. I'm super excited to use it. So this is my oil diffuser. And I haven't gotten any essential oils yet. But here are some, if you do have an essential oil diffuser, these are some little concoctions you can use to put into your essential oil diffuser. And doTERRA is a great brand for essential oils. So if you're interested in trying that to help with your mood, I highly encourage it because it really does work. I've used a lot during yoga. They'll put a lavender washcloth over my head after I'm done with yoga, and that helps just relax the body and refocus the mind and just letting go of all that negativity and negative emotions. So if you want, I will leave this up for just a couple seconds. If you want to take a picture of this as well to kind of remember another self-care tip for you. So fifth self-care tip is change your location. So if you're working during a Zoom meeting or you're just participating in a training and you're not feeling comfortable and you're losing that focus, maybe you need to change your location. I know personally, I was using one of my coworkers' stand-up desks, and I felt way more engaged and could focus better than sitting in a chair and like getting kind of sleepy and zoning out. So that's one option, is maybe a stand-up desk might work better for you. Maybe you need to go to a different room. So maybe having a room with a window in it, or maybe if you're in your house, trying a different, place to focus. Maybe you just need to go outside for a walk. I personally have used this and done this a lot. I'll just put my headphones in, and if I don't have to see anything, I'll just listen. and take a walk, because I'm a twitchy person and I like to get up and move, and getting up and moving and getting my blood flowing again, that helps, rush blood back to my brain and help me focus again. Or maybe you want to use a physio ball, which is that picture to the right. It's like this big bouncy ball, and it just makes you sit up straighter, and you can like bounce on it and kind of focus on it. And that might help you with your self-care. I just don't encourage you to bounce up and down if you're doing a presentation, because that's probably going to not be effective for other people to learn. So 6th self-care tip is get comfy. If you're not doing a presentation, and the only reason I'm wearing a sweatshirt today, is because this is all about self-care. So usually I would never ever wear, my sweatshirt. I got my Uggs on, I got my hair up, but this makes me feel comfortable. I'm in my comfy clothes, and, if I'm on Zoom meetings and presentations all day long, I want to be comfortable. I don't want to be in this tight dress and buttoned up. And, for me, that I feel more comfortable to listen to Zoom meetings all day long. And maybe it's the opposite for you. Maybe you want getting dressed up and getting ready for work. That might make you feel more focused and energized and not stressed, because you're like mentally, it might prepare you better. So it's just finding out what works best for you. And if you want to get comfy, you might want to sit in your favorite chair. So trying to be in a chair that's comfortable, because if you're in a chair that's not, that's going to stress you out and build up tension in your lower back and neck. And that's no fun. And then maybe grabbing a heating pad, starting to get cold, and maybe that heat when you're feeling anxious or stressed or overwhelmed and you need to relax yourself, maybe putting some heating pads on you. I have my big heating blanket right here, and I absolutely love it. It just makes me kind of relax and just settle myself. I'm like, okay, I can learn, I'm comfortable. This is what I need to do. And like I said, wearing comfortable clothing, and that could be whatever that is to you. So for me today, it's a sweatshirt, because I'm all about self-care today. 7th tip is go for a walk. I am so grateful that my boss lets me do this. I'll just say, I'm going for my walk. And she always says, anytime you need a break or you just need to go for a walk to clear your head because you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed, you're just tired, or you're overthinking something, go for a walk. So hopefully you have this advantage to do that. And I highly recommend to ask your boss, am I allowed to go for a walk? And hopefully they say yes, because it's really good for your self-care and to refocus again. You just need those mental breaks. And another thing for going for a walk is not all Zoom meetings need to be done sitting at your desk. And I personally have been doing more walks when it was warmer this summer. I was listening to Zoom meetings while walking, because it actually helped me refocus my attention. And it does. It helps refocus your attention because you're up and moving and the blood flow is going through you. And 8, reducing your eye strain. So because we're constantly communicating through a computer screen now, we're really using our eyes a lot. And some of you might be using Zoom until like 9 o'clock at night, just because there's so many different meetings and you might be on different committees and you can only meet in the evening. So it's really important that you take care of your eyes right now, because we're constantly looking at a screen with this lighting. So here are some tips to help reduce your eye strain. First is maybe using some lubricating eye drops, especially if you have contacts. They might get dried out, so it's important to re-lubricate those eyes. Making sure night shift is turned on during evening hours to limit blue light. Reduce bright sunlight from windows or fluorescent lights. So maybe standing or doing a Zoom meeting in front of a window isn't the best for your eyes. Like right now, I'm through a window, but it's pouring out. But If it was bright and sunny out, that might interfere with my eyes and I can't see, and then you're squinting and it just is uncomfortable. They have blue light glasses. And I know like students have been getting these because they're constantly learning online and it's straining their eyes and they want to protect their eyes. So you can Google blue light glasses and there's tons that you can get to help with your eye strain. And increase the text size so you don't have to focus too hard. So if the text is too small and you're constantly like looking like this at the screen, well, that's a problem that your eyes are working so hard to try and read that. So always increase the text size so you can personally read it. And I found these couple tips on Science of the People website. And I thought this was pretty cool because we're all different and some of us are introverted and extroverted. And I found these helpful tips for people who are introverted and extroverted when they attend a Zoom meeting. So people who are introverted, this might help you prepare for a Zoom meeting and not feel so anxious or overwhelmed. And this is what they say that might help people who are introverted is knowing the agenda ahead of time, learn how to be funny, hide your webcam feed to stop staring at yourself, prepare, set a timer, and forget the rest, and social charge yourself before a call. So if you're introverted and you're not very outgoing and you like to be, socialization and you just aren't very, interactive, this might be helpful for you to approach Zoom meetings. And if you're an extrovert like me, maybe trying a team building activity during Zoom or looking at the webcam instead of the screen. Invite the CEO to drop in randomly, meet and build team relationships, and read body language better by using speaker view. So I just wanted to give you some of these helpful tips because they just said this might, based on like if you're extrovert or introverted, these might be a little more helpful for you. And that is the end of my presentation. And I really hope some of those tips you can use for yourself. And I hope they work as well for you as they have for me. And before I wrap this up, I have 3 questions I would really appreciate you answer to because this really helps ADAC and us figuring out, are we reaching the community? Are these presentations helpful? Are they not? What else can we do to help out the community with mental health? So the first question is, will you share what you learned? Yes or no? 2, who will you share with? And 3, what will you share? So what information will you share? And if you could please email me those responses to those 3 questions, that would be awesome. My email is right down below on the slide. And an extra motivator and briber for you is if you email me these questions, I will send you a certification of completion so you can show your boss that you've been doing professional development. So please, please, please fill out these questions. I'll leave this up for a minute so you can either write the questions down, you can take a picture of it so you have my email and the questions, and then just please email me these so we can continue helping out the community as best as we can. All right, well, I want to thank you guys, whoever I'm talking to, for listening to this presentation. It means a lot, and I truly hope this will be helpful for you and whoever you think this might be helpful for. If you have any more questions or want to research us more, we have a website, adaconline.org. We have tons of information on how to take care of yourself and mental health and things for teachers and students and professionals. And we also have a Facebook page called ADAC of Delaware County. And we post a lot of helpful tips and positivity on our Facebook as well. So once again, if you have any questions, comments, you have my email. So thank you guys so much.